Where is the best place to put your money? You might be thinking in a bank. Nope. You might be thinking a credit union. Nope. That is actually not an intelligent place to keep your money. If you want to know where the wealthy keep their money, watch this. Clearly, financially successful people think very different about money and they do different things with money. Problem is, most of us haven't been shown what that is. I know I wasn't. Like, I didn't have a rich dad that said, okay, son, come over here. Let me show you what to do with your money.
Feel this boy. Understand the pain. You think I was always the picture of strength that I am now?
Dad, you couldn't get out of bed for a week because the mattress was too soft.
Mind over flesh, boy.
Ironically, every Tuesday morning, I do go to my children's private school in our home, and I teach them about money every single week. And the reason why is because money touches all things. It determines whether you get your dreams or not, determines whether you can buy a house or not, determines what kind of education you can provide for your children, determines what kind of car you drive, determines what kind of trips you can take. Like, money is a big deal. You understand that most divorces are caused because people got money problems. Well, today I want to talk about what wealthy people are doing with their money, and it starts with where they stash it, because they're not stashing it in an FDIC insured bank account, they're stashing it somewhere else. But before I show you what that is, let's just back up and understand a couple of things. Anyone can become wealthy. You can become wealthy. I know because I started poor. I literally started in debt. And the way that I became wealthy started with this one first hack. I had to learn how to take the money that I made at my job and I had to figure out how to reserve some of it for investments. I had to figure out how to save it. And the second year that I worked at a job, I made $50,000 a year. Now, this is what $50,000 looks like. And what I basically had to learn was to take 20% of what I made, and I had to set it aside. I had to put it in this special kind of place that I'm gonna be revealing in this video so that someday I could have some money to access and start investing with. Do you like games? I want to play a game. I'm going to give you two scenarios from two people that you may or may not like. We're going to talk about Gru and Balthazar, and I'm going to give you a story problem, and you have a simple decision to make. Who winds up with more money when they retire? Ready to play? Here's Gru. He's 19 years old, and he starts putting $300 away each month until he turns 27. He lets it compound at 10%. In total, Gru puts away $28,800 over 8 years. Balthazar starts when he's 27 years old, when Gru is now done with his 8th year of setting money aside. Balthazar's also putting $300 away, but he's not going to do it for 8 years. He's going to do it until he turns 65 years old, which means he's going to do it for 38 years. Balthazar is also earning 10%, and over that period of time, he'll have manually put $140,000 in the bank account. So if you look at Gru, who only ever put $28,800 aside, or Balthazar that put $140,000 aside, and both of them had their money growing at 10%. At 65 years old, guess who has more money? Yeah, you probably guessed right. It's Gru. Why does he land with $1.8 million and Balthazar is sitting at almost 1.6? Gru's got more money, not because he put more money in, but because he started earlier. And this is illustrating what's called compound interest, which means the answer to today's riddle of, okay, Kris, where do wealthy people put their money? I'm gonna tell you this, they don't put it in a normal bank account earning 0.0 nothing, which basically compounds at nothing. To be very clear, bank accounts kind of suck. Like, have you ever wondered why they offer you a sucker or a dum-dum on the way out? That's because you gave them your money, and then what they get to do is they get to go to the Federal Reserve Bank and basically say, hey, look, I've got deposits from these people. I want you, Federal Reserve, to lend me with fractional lending 100 times the money back that I can basically then lend out to other people. Now, for you putting your money in the bank, they're giving you like 0.0, who cares? And what they're doing is they're lending money at 5, 6, 7, 8%. And when you look at that arbitrage or that difference, they're literally making like hundreds of times more money than you on the money that's yours.
Follow the procedure. Okay. What are you doing? He's not robbing us. We're the bank. It's our job to rob him.
Drop your mortgage or the bank! That's a pretty one. You wanna try me? I'll drop your credit score so low you won't even be able to get a loan at the library, punk!
Well, at least I'm leaving with my dignity.
No, we'll have that too. Your pants. Put them in the bag.
According to Bankrate.com, the average yield in the US is currently 0.57%, which, by the way, is significantly higher than it normally is because we have inflation. Normally, it's sitting at like 0.1 one whatever. Now, it is important to note that there are high yield savings accounts that started last year, they'll be here this year, but as rates come down, they'll go away. And basically, they're saying, hey, if you lock your money into a money market account or a CD, a certificate of deposit, for a certain period of time, like 6 months or a year, we'll actually give you 5% on your money. That, my friend, is extraordinarily rare, but the reason why they're able to do it is because inflation is sitting over 4%, which means they're still kind of giving you 0.5%. Okay, so we're gonna answer this question then. Where do I stash my cash, and which millionaires did I learn this from? Well, today we're gonna talk about a very specific type of life insurance. And I don't mean normal life insurance. It's a rare kind of policy that is called a cash value dividend paying life insurance policy, or a CVDP. It's a rare type of policy where I can put money in, but then I can pull it out and do really cool stuff with it and still earn money on the account that it's in. Now, there's a good chance what I'm sharing with you is like, wait, Kris, what are you talking about? This is Twilight Zone for me. What is this CVDP rare type of life insurance policy? Well, for me, I call it like a life insurance bank account. And there's 7 major benefits why I put my money in them. Check them out. Here's the first benefit. This rare type of life insurance policy pays me a guaranteed 4% annual ROI. And this is my hedge against inflation as I'm waiting to accumulate money for my next investment. The second thing is that it then pays dividends. Most of these policies pay between 1, 2, or 3% every year. So it's like, wait a second, I got 4% guaranteed ROI, then let's just say between the 1, 2, and 3%, I'm averaging a 2% dividend. That is you earning 6% on your money. And no, that's not like high yield accounts that are only available like once every decade or two. This is always available. The third benefit is that you can put your money in and then you can pull that cash value out so that you can buy something else. Now, that's really important because you're thinking, well, Kris, doesn't a normal bank account let you put money in and take it out? Woohoo, nice magic trick. It's like, I can literally borrow that money for less than that 6%. Let's say I can borrow it at 3%. I'm still making 3% as if the money's in the account. Meanwhile, I got my money back out so I can put it in a piece of real estate, for example, maybe earning 25%. Well, now I'm earning 25% on the real estate. I'm earning 3% in my policy for a net 28%. The fourth benefit is that this enables me to also grow my money tax-free. That dividend, that guaranteed 4%, so that 6-ish%, that's actually growing tax-free. So it's like, wait a second, I can put my money in, but I can pull it out. I'm earning on average, let's call it 6%, and it's also growing tax-free? Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but this weird type of bank account gets even better. One of the things that I love about these CVDP policies is that the fifth benefit is that they offer guaranteed protection. Like, the government views a person's life insurance policy as a protected asset class. And they're like, even if we were to litigate against you and want money from you, we would attack maybe the equity in your home, or maybe we'd go after your bank account. But life insurance, that's like a death benefit thing, and that's kind of a sacred cow, and we don't touch that. So it's like, no one can touch it, and not even the government. At some point, that becomes a really big deal, especially if you're like, I actually want to protect my assets. The sixth benefit is that it offers a death benefit. Now, this is kind of cool. You're like, well, most life insurance policies do that. Yes. The reason why that's big here is because I'm putting money in, I'm taking it out, maybe I'm buying real estate, I'm buying houses, and should I die prematurely, my loved ones don't want to inherit my portfolio, so I can take my policy, pay the houses off, and guess what you've actually left them? A bunch of paid off real estate, or a paid off business, or a big pile of cash, and those assets are still producing for you. The seventh and final benefit is that there's also a disability protection, which kind of means, oh, once you set up this bank account, if something ever happened and you couldn't put money into it anymore because you became disabled, literally this bank, the life insurance bank account company, will then continue every month paying money in as if you still were. It's just pretty wild when you think about it. Okay, so why are we having this conversation? It is true that there's a link below where you can actually contact a company that will set up this life insurance bank account to you for free, which is really, really cool. Like, that's my free gift of the day for you. Hello, you're welcome. But why are we doing this? Well, it's because I've got this money, and when you become better at saving money, most people are gonna spend it on stupid stuff, liabilities, cars and boats and houses. But if you buy assets that go up in value, now you're being smart. Remember, at the start of this video, I said, make sure you're saving 20% of the money that you make. Then you put it in this special type of life insurance policy where it's producing 6%, tax-free, and then once it builds big enough, you pull the money out, and guess what you do? you start investing it. You buy stuff that goes up in value, not things that go down in value. Bottom line is there's 3 steps to really becoming wealthy. The first one is you want to reserve 20% of the money that you make and stash it in a place like I just described. Number 2, pull the money out and invest it and get superior ROI. And the third and final step is to make sure that your assets are now spinning off benefits to you like cash flow. And it's like, whoa, I can now live off of what these assets are producing for me. Maybe someday I don't need a job anymore. Like, that's what happened to me at the age of 26 is I had 25 homes. Those 25 homes were paying me over $12,000 a month. Why have a job? I could have all of my time back. I had the money I needed at that time of my life. And guess what? Now I was living high on the horse. Most people spend their money on stupid stuff. They're like, oh, I'm gonna buy like, TVs and cars and boats and toys. Those things go down in value, my friend. Check it out. If you wanna be wealthy, act like the wealthy. Let me get you hooked up with a free life insurance bank account. Literally click the link below this video and just drop your contact information, and someone from that company will reach out to you and basically get you set up with a free life insurance bank account so that all the benefits that we talked about today become your reality. And my friend, for you, that is your next step to building wealth. You might be thinking, okay, Kris, that was really cool, but like, what's my next step? Well, I'll tell you this, owning property is an American right. It's something that's very important. And right now, over the next decade, we are going to become more of a renter nation. And you're gonna miss out on one of the easiest ways of building assets. Bottom line, America wants you to rent forever. And if you do, it's gonna cost you financially dearly. Watch this video and let me help educate you on what's coming around the corner and how you can protect yourself.